Everybody, this is Scott from Comic Book Hangover with my Wednesday video, I guess. I want to try to start doing 2 videos a week at least to kind of get more practice at doing these sort of things. So I'm figuring Thursdays, I'm pretty comfortable with doing my weekly haul videos on Thursdays, kind of, give everybody a chance to, check out their books, and so I don't have to worry about spoilers so much, because I do want to start talking about more of the story points. So Wednesdays, I figured I'd start doing sort of these little throwaway videos where I just kind of go through a certain section of my collection and just kind of share the books that I have from a certain title or a certain run, or anything like that. So if there's any requests, especially anybody who knows me, that knows the kind of books that I collect, if you want to see anything that I have in my collection, I'd be happy to do this sort of video. And any suggestions or recommendations on how to make them more interesting, I'm always open to suggestions. So this week I posted on my Facebook page, what suggestion for this week's back issue video, I guess you can call it. And my friend Jarid Mayo of the M6P podcast suggested the X Men. And I do actually have more X Men books than I figured. I'm not really an X Men fan, but I do for some reason I have wound up with a bunch of the books over the years. So I figured today at least I will do my humble Uncanny X Men collection. There really aren't going to be any major keys in this because, like I said, I don't really go out of my way for X Men. I do, however, I do like to buy an Uncanny or an X Men book on occasion, especially if I really like the cover. So most of these are going to be covers that I liked. There's going to be some small runs. I've tried the book here and there over the years, just never really stuck. So without further ado, here is my Uncanny X Men collection, starting with Uncanny X Men number 110. This is the lowest issue number that I have for the series, and this is one that I got off of Instagram. There's a dude on Instagram, The Superiority, who for a dollar amount will send you a blind box of 4 to 5 books from his collection. This is one of the ones I got from his collection. So don't know anything about it, but the cover's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to keep this. And actually, I'm keeping all of these Uncanny books. So next up is Uncanny X Men number 145. I got this one at a convention years ago for $1. It was the cover. I do like a good drawing of Doctor Doom. And this is arguably one of my favorite depictions of the character. And it's also kind of unusual to see that character in an X Men comic book. So I had to pick it up. I love the cover. Next one, Uncanny 160. This is another one that I got from the blind box from the Superiority. I don't know anything about the issue. I don't know if it's a key issue or anything like that. But I do like how every once in a while they'll do something like this. Nightcrawler is crawling over the X Men logo, and his shadow is actually on the logo, so it kind of makes that part of the picture. I do like covers where they use the logo as part of the artwork. Uncanny 164, signed. This is first appearance of Binary. This is another one of those books that I just picked it up because I like the cover. I'm not a Carol Danvers fan. I'm not a Captain Marvel fan. Binary, I don't have much knowledge about the character, but the cover was sweet, so I picked up the cover and was able to get it signed earlier this year. Uncanny 195, again, I like the cover. Something about Wolverine threatening a child with his claws just kind of makes me chuckle, because there's so much in this cover that would not be allowed today because of the oversensitivity of people. I mean, not just this whole thing here where Logan is threatening this child, but he's smoking, and we're not allowed to have characters smoking anymore. So it's pretty cool. So Uncanny 195, Uncanny 197, again, Doom. Same thing. Found it at a show for $1, and it's Doctor Doom fighting the X-Men. Gotta love it. Uncanny 240. This is an Inferno issue. Then this is one of the first issues of the Goblin Queen. So then I got it because, again, I just like the cover. Same with this one here, Madeline Pryor, Uncanny 241. It was another one that I liked the cover, so I figured, what the heck, I'll go ahead and grab it. It wasn't very expensive either. This one, Uncanny 257, actually found in a dollar bin at this year's Motor City Comic Con. Again, I like the cover. You're going to hear me say that a lot, so I'll try not to say it so much. Just assume that most of these books I picked up because I like the cover. Uncanny 263, this one being the exception. This was in a stack of books that I got from a friend. Uncanny 266. This one, now Gambit. If I had to say if I had to pick an X-Men character to say is my favorite, it's going to be Gambit. I don't know why. I just like the character for one reason or another. But this book here, I got in a stack of books years ago, about 15 years ago or so. A friend of mine had, she was dating this dude. They broke up. He left a stack of comic books at her house, and she knew I was in the comics. She's like, if you want them, come get them. And I figured, why not? It's probably just going to be mostly stuff I'm not interested in at all. But this book was in that stack, so I got this book for free. So, not a bad deal. Uncanny 268, a nice Jim Lee cover, like that. Uncanny 269, another cover that I really enjoy, the Rogue versus the original Ms. Marvel, or I guess you can say an early version of a zombie, Marvel zombie character. Uncanny 281, I believe this is the second printing of the book, but this is one of those covers that's really iconic of the era, where there's just so much going on. It's just so busy, but it works. It works really well. Uncanny 286, a nice Archangel cover. Uncanny 289, a little smoochy with Storm and Forge. Uncanny 290, this is without a doubt one of my favorite covers of in my entire collection. This is one of my favorite covers, and this is probably one of the best Storm covers I've ever seen. Now she's got a lot of great covers, but this, if my opinion matters, which it doesn't matter any more than anybody else's, but this would be, in my opinion, the best Storm cover they've ever produced. Uncanny 293, picked up for one reason or another. Uncanny 294, back in the 90s, there's a lot of crossovers. This was the Executioner song, so I figured, why not go through it. This was back when books were only $1.50, so you could afford to buy duplicates. I did pick up this one here, and I got 2 copies of it. So I got one to keep in the poly bag, because back in those days you were supposed to, and the other one I picked up to read, to open up and read, and there's trading cards in there. But Executioner songs, this one's still poly bagged. I'm probably going to take them out here pretty soon. 295 with a cool Apocalypse cover. Sorry, forgot his name for a second there. 296 with a pretty epic looking Strife. 297. I just picked this up because it was the follow up to the story, and the cover is actually pretty sweet. 298. Gambit cover. 299. I think at this point I figured we were so close to 300 I might as well just go up to 300, which apparently I did, because there's Uncanny number 300, back in the day when these sort of gimmick special covers and variant covers or whatever were reserved for just milestone issues, as opposed to every issue gets 5 different covers, which makes no sense to me at all. But there's Uncanny, a nice cover there. I like the background on that. It's all those little X's. 308, which I'm not sure why I grabbed this one, but there it is. 312, I think, was in another stack of books that I had picked up somewhere. There's a card or something in that one. I should check that one out. 313, nice Gambit cover. 316, this was part of the Phalanx Covenant. This was actually, this went through all the different X-Men books, dealt with the Phalanx, and it's been a long time since I've read it, but I do remember actually really enjoying this. So I have the entire story, so I might actually go back and reread it again, because I remember this being really fun. 317. And this one is issue 322. This is sort of the lead-in to the Onslaught story, with pretty epic cover of who stopped the Juggernaut, because up until this point, Juggernaut, he showed up, he just got out of his way. And there's a special anniversary issue. The issue number itself, it escapes me at the moment. It does have a board on it, so I can't check out the back. So if you know the issue number, just go ahead and put it in the comments below, and thank you. So, But that's pretty cool. It's got a little gimmick on the top there, so that's pretty sweet. 334. Part of the Onslaught. There's a special Onslaught update inside. I think that's actually... that might be Juggernaut. I don't know. It's been a while. Yeah, the Unstoppable Return of Juggernaut. If I just read the cover, it would tell me. 335 is part of Onslaught Phase 1. And Onslaught actually was a pretty decent story. Pretty decent event. 336, part of Onslaught Phase 2, and a special Heroes Reborn update inside. Uncanny 337. I like that cover. Uncanny 338. I think we're getting near to the end of my run here. 339. And, of course, with everything else, it's got to be rebooted. So you have Uncanny X Men #1, which is the legacy number of 620. I don't think I even read this one. I just picked it up because I know the cover was pretty cool. And a few of the annuals that I have. There's annual number 12. This is the 1998 annual, part of Evolutionary War, which, I mean, I had just gotten the entire Evolutionary War series at the same time. I got this. This is that big Evolutionary War hardcover. So I got this pretty cheap. The shop that I was going to, there was a big sale, so I got that for pennies on the dollar. It's pretty cool. But I still like the individual covers for some of these Evolutionary Wars. And then there's the 1989 annual. This is annual number 13. I also never understood why they put issue numbers on annuals. They should just put the years on them and just be done with that. But this is part of Atlantis Attacks. Another one that, back in these days, the annuals were used to kind of spotlight certain characters, new artists, that sort of thing. But they would also have a story or, some sort of a crossover in all of them. And I wound up also getting, same thing, got it pretty cheap, the Atlantis Attacks hardcover. And it's funny because once I got them, I never actually got the chance to read them. I'm still waiting for the time to read them. The Shattershot series, Uncanny 92 annual. And this one was a fairly recent thing, The Secrets of Uncanny X Men. Was a freebie, but sometimes if I can get a freebie that's in good condition, I'll slap a bag and board on it, toss it in my collection. So that right there is all of my Uncanny X Men books. I do have some regular X Men, X Factor, X Force, XXXXXXX. I have a bunch of these books, but not a bunch. I have a good number of them. So maybe in a future video, I'll go through my my X-Men, which would include some of the specials and annuals and one-shots that I've got, some X-Men Unlimited, that sort of thing. But there you go. Those are all my X-Men books. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Tomorrow, on Thursday, I will have my weekly haul video. So we will see you then. And as always, if you like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, share, comment, thumbs down if you don't like it. Let me know what you'd like me to do. And I'm, like I said at the beginning, I'm always open to suggestions and love to read comments. Love the feedback, and of course, check out all the other great YouTubers that share their collections and share their hauls. It's a great online, great YouTube community of comic book collectors and fans out there. So I will see you tomorrow.